If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Derrious Hardy and Martee Pope from Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home join us this morning. Gentlemen, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us this morning. And first of all, it is Father's Day weekend.
Yes, sir.
And we've got a big event scheduled here in town.
Yes, sir. It's our pre-Father's Day Praise in the Park here at Noble Park this Saturday at 5 p.m. We do have a variety of gospel quartet groups going to perform. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. Martee, for some reason, I didn't get my invitation to sing. Is it lost in the mail?
It's on the way.
On the way. Thank you both for being here. And you know, fatherhood, Derrious, is so important in our community. And you're soon to be a father, and Martee, you are a father. So happy Father's Day to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk a little bit, Derrious, about Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home here in Sylacauga, 220 East 3rd Street. What are some of the services that are provided there?
Well, we have a variety of personalized services, far as funeral traditional services, cremation services, any services that a family may desire that is personalized that we offer.
You're not originally from Sylacauga. Why Sylacauga for a funeral home?
Well, actually, years ago, I used to do some work here, and as time has passed on, I felt like it was a need for a different type of service that I feel like a gift that God has given me to offer to a community as Sylacauga.
A little bit of personal background about yourself.
Yes. I grew up in Birmingham. Been working in funeral service over 25 years. I graduated from Hewattown High in 2003, and it's just been a dream of mine to be able to give back and be able to service.
Yeah.
That's been one of my gifts as a service.
Now, I remember first meeting you several years ago, and I don't know why it's in my mind, probably wrong. Were you nursing at one time as well, or not?
No, okay. I was still in funeral service at the time.
Okay.
It's just when you just have that time, it's just that time to do your own thing.
Now, how long have you been here?
This will be our 4th year.
Oh, wow.
This August will be 4 years here in Sylacauga, and it's been truly a blessing that we've been able to service families here and be able to support this community as well.
Martee Pope, he is no stranger. He's from Sylacauga, graduate of Sylacauga High School. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're the office manager here in town.
Right. Graduated here from Sylacauga in 2005. Been in the funeral service for about 10 years now. And
why'd you decide to go into the funeral service?
Well, I had a professor at Miles. He owned 2 funeral homes.
Okay.
And he was a mentor, and I was always around him. And he kept us around in his funeral home, kind of showed us the way.
Derrious, a lot of conversation about the pandemic.
Yes.
We just came through that, and there's a challenge none of us have ever faced before. And how is it different now than, say, it was 2 or 3 months ago with funeral home services? Any changes?
It's been slightly a change as far as the volume, because during the pandemic, it was a very strain on all funeral homes and that we've never seen before. And at this time, it has lightened up a little, but as far as our procedures, we do still require masks and social distancing, and we do have our own sanitizing team to come sanitize our chapel or church service that we may have. So we still have a lot of things in place.
Yeah. What would set you apart at Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home from other funeral homes?
I feel like it's us, as far as in general, as our gift of service. We just let God use us as a ministry, because I feel like that's what it is. And Grace Memorial, another thing set us apart is something we offer that you don't deserve what you get. You know, no matter what your financial status, doesn't mean you don't deserve quality.
Yeah.
So that's what set us apart, and just our customer service and our professionalism.
Martee, you're well known in this area. The Pope name is well known in this area. A lot of popes in Sylacauga, Alabama. And how do you want to be seen and thought of working with Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home?
I want to be known and seen as that passionate, caring individual that's employed by Grace.
There's a lot of conversation now, and it is still foreign to people in Alabama a lot, including the black community, pre-need planning. Talk about that.
It's very important. It's very traditional that families don't want to talk about death, but it's very...
You know, really, I don't like talking about it.
Of course we don't. But we know that's something we all have to face. But the number one thing is educating our community. That, you know, it's nothing wrong, it's nothing to be afraid about, to talk about. And so we advise families to call us if you have questions about things, or if you just need someone to talk to, give us a call. Just don't hesitate. If you don't know, you know, there's no such thing as a dumb question. So we try to educate our community how important it is and how easy it makes how it is on the family.
What is pre-planning?
Pre-planning is pretty much planning your own service ahead of time, putting things in place that you will, like your wishes, in writing. So it's very important, and it just takes that burden off your family.
And Martee, speaking of taking burdens off families, we've all have seen this. A loved one passes away, whether it's been a lengthy illness or a sudden death, but that family, man, they're struggling. You know, they got to make decisions, and it's tough on them.
It is. It really is. And it's our job to come in and ease that burden, being a funeral home.
So we've got viewers down in Alexander City and other surrounding areas. Derrious, does this funeral home service other areas as well?
Yes, sir. Actually, we've been blessed to service Tallapoosa County, Randolph County, wherever the need is, we're there to meet it. You know, no matter the distance, we are able to service that family, no matter what city. Yes, sir.
Services of excellence made affordable. Where'd that thing come from?
Well, I feel like that's what we provide. That's what we strive for, is excellence in service. And I feel like, you know, if you really want something good, or you're gonna go where that service, you know, everybody wants to feel good. It's about how you made that person feel, or that family feel. And it's something that they would never forget. I feel like, you know, that's what we are. We are people, or servants, that people would never forget in that moment.
Some people think a licensed funeral home director is similar to getting your driver's license, but that's far from the case, isn't it?
No, it's far away. You do have to go through different channels as far as apprenticeship, and you have to go to your state accredited college that offers mortuary science. And it's not for everybody. Sometimes you have to, and that's any field. You know, you may think you want to do it and look into it, but it's not for everyone.
And there's quite a bit. And when I started some 8 years ago, it was just beginning. I was just beginning to hear about it. But cremation is very popular today.
Yes, it's totally different. It has been a tremendous increase. I think one of the things is more popular now because it's more convenient and more affordable. I think a lot of families going through financial challenges more now today, and I think that's one thing that leads more families to cremation. I don't think they want to, but sometimes that's, your option.
Yeah. Martee, do you see this gaining traction in the African American community, cremation?
I do.
As we talk with Derrious Hardy, the licensed funeral home director and owner of Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home, Martee Pope, the manager of the funeral home, the Bible talks about it's appointed unto man once to die. And when I was younger, Derrious, I thought I'd live forever. But as I get older, I understand I got a whole lot more miles behind me than I got ahead of me.
Yes, sir.
But with Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home, you guys are really no respecter person, whether it's red, yellow, black, or white.
Not at all. We service all race, all nationalities. So we've been able to bless a lot of families, regardless color, origin, things of that nature. So that's we're not an African American funeral home. We are a funeral home. So
Period, right?
Period. So no matter what the need, as far as Hispanic or whoever, we're here to serve.
Now, oftentimes or sometimes, you guys deal with young people where there's a sudden death, and that's so traumatic.
It is, because it hurts because the young person haven't had a chance to actually live. And especially now that the violence that we facing now today, it's just unreal. But, I feel like Mr. Martee and myself being young men, that we can be an example for the young men who don't have father figures maybe, and just to let them know, hey, it's drugs or violence is not the only way, or sports is not the only way. If you really want to do something and put your mind to it, you can do it.
Martee, is that part of the reasoning for the pre-Father's Day event this weekend at the park?
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
Talk about a little bit what's going to be happening there on Saturday evening about 5 o'clock.
Okay, we have different singing groups, gospel singing groups that will be there singing in the park. Vendors, we have different vendors for people to visit. Just a great time to come together and just fellowship with one another.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The funeral home located at 220 East 3rd Street in Sylacauga, and Derrious, there are numerous ways to contact you guys.
Yes, sir. We have a Facebook page, Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home on Facebook, and phone number 256-487-8102. And we just ask anyone who would like to just ask questions about our services, give us a call. Don't hesitate.
I've often heard, and I've seen this, that first impressions are so important.
Very important. That's one thing that we have staff meetings and we talk about these different things far as impression. So that goes back to what I said. It's not what you say, it's how you make someone feel. And that's what we strive for excellence again, how to make our families feel during these difficult times. So that's that first impression is very important.
Martee, when a person opens the door and steps into Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home at 220 East 3rd Street in Sylacauga, what are you wanting them to sense?
I want them to sense a sense of warmness, a sense of care, just a sense of love, compassion. As soon as they open the door.
Yeah. And before we go this morning, Derrious Hardy, the licensed funeral home and director, licensed funeral home director and owner of Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home, Martee Pope, the manager of the funeral home. Let's face it, this is a competitive business, just like anything else.
Right.
Talk about some of the services and maybe some numbers that you look at as a starting point for services and cremations.
As far as cremation services, they're starting at $10.95. We have complete services starting at $4,000. So it's just a variety that family has to choose from. but we just ask that families just give us a call.
Yeah.
We know it's a challenging time. Most people don't have insurance and things of that nature. So we do ask that you just call and just talk to us and
find out
that we can help you.
Yeah.
You know, it's variety of ways. God has blessed us with resources that we're able to help these families. So the Bible says you have not because you ask not. So that's something that we just try to get the community to just give us a call.
Yeah, and that's number is 256-487-8102. Online, GraceMemorialChapelLLC.com, and Derrious Hardy, the licensed funeral home director and owner, and Martee Pope, the manager, with us this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you being with us this morning, and look forward to working with you in the future. And as we leave it this morning, I know you guys want to wish all the dads and granddads too a happy Father's Day.
Yes, sir. We would like to wish all the men, all the fathers, all the father figures and grandfathers a happy Father's Day this weekend. So we hopefully the fathers will get a good meal and not McDonald's.
That will work. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. More Daybreak just ahead. Don't go away.